G'day battlers. Bit of a somber one today because today Silph Arena has just announced that they will be shutting down at the end of this season. So that's the Silph Road, Silph Arena, Silph Factions. It's all going dark at sort of the start of August. So August 1st, end of July. So with that said, we've obviously got a little bit to talk about. So first off, there's just the facts of the situation. What does this mean for the Silph Arena season? What does this mean for the Continentals and the World Championships? So we'll talk about all of that, factions as well. And then we'll sort of then get into the more of the feelings / what's next for this channel sort of thing. So that's going to be timestamped as well if you really sort of want to jump around. But I mean, I guess the place to start is just talking about the fact that, the facts, right? So what's actually happening, because Silph Arena and Silph Road, the largest grassroots organization ever in Pokemon Go's history, is shutting down. And with it, Silph Arena, the longest running PvP sort of tournament circuit in the world in Pokemon Go, is all coming to a close at the end of July. So there's a lot going on. And so let's talk about Silph Arena Season 5. So luckily, the Silph Arena season sort of goes on as normal. So the plan was that June was going to be the last month of the regular season with the Innocent Cup, and that is still going to be the case. So we sort of play through the season, happy days. It then goes into the championship circuit, which is going to be a little bit more tight than it was originally planned to be. So they already sort of announced that regionals was cut this season. So we're actually going straight into Continentals, and that's still going to be the same. So Continentals is going to be on the weekend of July 15th, 16th, I think are the dates. And so it's still going to run as normal, sort of as you'd expect. There are a few changes to the way that qualification to Continentals is happening. So I'll link to the main Silph Arena article in the description down below. So do give that a read. But sort of the big highlights are that no more battle towers are going to be taking place. So the remaining battle towers have been cancelled. And then also there was a qualification method through sweeping 7 or 8 round in-person tournaments. That's also been removed, as well as wildcard tournaments. Wildcard tournaments were originally going to take place online as an additional sort of last chance qualifier to Continentals, but that's also being removed. So mainly it's going to be high global rank, high national rank, if there are enough high ranked battlers on your nation's leaderboard, and then of course some other qualifications as well. But again, check out the sort of Silph Arena article. So through Continentals is happening pretty normal. One change to the World Championships is last season we had a World Championship prelims that then fed into a World Championship finals. This season there's just going to be a tighter World Championship finals, 16 people, double elimination. And that'll be consisting of the 4 Continental Champions, the last ever crowned Silph Arena Continental Champions, so reigning for forever. So it'll be the 4 Continental Champions, as well as the 2nd and 3rd place from each Continental. So that's another 8 people, 2 from each regional, so that makes up 12. And then the last 4 spots are going to the 1 Battle Tower winner, as well as last season's World Champion, so Vroom Vroom Pow. And then the last 2 spots are going to be the top 2 globally ranked battlers that haven't already otherwise qualified. So that's going to sort of cascade until we sort of get that 16 going into the World Championship finals. And so that's all going to happen in July as well. But sort of dates and details are sort of going to come, I guess, as we go. There are also going to use the same meta between the Continentals and the World Championships. That meta is going to be announced later. And so all of those details will come later, but it's all sort of going to happen mostly as normal. We are going to get 4 Continental Champions. We are going to get 1 final Silph Arena World Champion, joining the halls of Speediest Chief 2, Dunebug 97, and Vroom Vroom Pow. That is, if Vroom Vroom Pow doesn't defend his title as the sort of last remaining, I guess, the only ever 2-time Silph Arena World Champion. But that's sort of and then that's it. There's no more Silph Arena seasons after that. Silph Arena Season 5 is the end of the road. As far as factions is concerned, it also sort of works out timing-wise okay, in the sense that next week was already going to be the final week of the faction season. And that's a really long thing as well, because it's a bunch of different cycles within the season, and it just happens to be that it's the last week of the last cycle of the season. But of course, there'll then also be sort of a post-season sort of tournament structure, sort of like effectively a Factions World Championship that's happening as well. And so that'll sort of details will come for that as well. But essentially, we're able to wrap up both of the Silph Arena sort of main season and Silph Arena factions. So I'm sort of glad that that is able to happen. because if this were happening any other time of year, then it may not exactly be the case. So it sort of works out okay in that regard. It's definitely, very sad that this is all sort of coming to a close, and it just kind of is what it is. It has been announced that there will be a cash prize sort of involved with the World Championships this year. So I details still to come on that as well. But yeah, that's going to be the end of Silph Arena. But what this all means is that at the end of July, the Silph Arena won't exist. So no more Silph Arena metas, no more Silph Arena site, no more Silph Arena tournaments. You can't use the Silph Arena tournament sort of not structure, the like the software, I guess is potentially a word, just no more Silph Arena platform, which, it is sad because like Silph Arena in my eyes has sort of been the heart of the Pokemon Go community for the last 5 years. It was the first thing that came to the scene and was sort of the main driving force for a PvP community to exist when Go Battle League was introduced, when the Play Pokemon circuit was introduced. At the Melbourne Play Pokemon Regionals, the first one last year, we sort of like rocked up and we sort of all had this camaraderie due to the Silph Arena. And the organizers sort of picked that up, right? They were like clearly like, like so many of these people are already friends. Because Silph Arena had sort of been able to foster those connections that I feel like, Go Battle League certainly doesn't foster in the same way. Play Pokemon Play Pokemon's going to continue, right? And it's going to thrive, and I'm still going to be really excited by it. But it's a little bit few and far between for a lot of people. If you're in North America and Europe in particular, there are a lot of opportunities to sort of keep participating in these tournaments if you're sort of able to travel. But it does leave out a lot of people, like a lot of people in the Asian countries that sort of don't get those same opportunities unless they fly quite a distance, Like if you're in northern India and you sort of have to fly either into Europe or down to Australia, it's expensive to attend a single regional for them. So they don't sort of get the same experience, and that's sort of what Silph Arena was it was a gap that Silph Arena was filling as well. And so I am sort of hopeful that there might be more things cropping up. For example, Vroom Vroom Pow hosted an India-specific sort of a grassroots tournament maybe a month or two ago. And so I think that it's going to be a little bit more of that sort of thing going on. But I mean, I'm really thankful to have been involved in Silph Arena and such. I mean, I sort of get called the face of Silph Arena every now and then. And I guess it's sort of true in the sense that I've been lucky enough to be involved in a lot of things, Silph Arena. So, I was lucky enough to host the last two Silph Arena World Championships. I got to make some really fun meta reveal videos over on the Silph Arena YouTube channel. I've just been really, really lucky to sort of be involved. And, I guess a part of that is because most people stopped making Silph Arena content when Go Battle League sort of showed itself as the king. And I just stuck around, I guess. So maybe it was just sort of last fish in the barrel, right? A little bit, but I'm really thankful that I've sort of been able to be involved in all of this stuff. I'm not looking to sort of, hide away or anything from here on out. From here on, I'll probably keep making Go Battle League Meta Simplified videos. If Play Pokemon, happens to decide to go with some wacky metas as well, I'll sort of jump in there. And I think that largely the big thing I'm going to be looking to do is to support grassroots tournaments. So, I'm not about to start a Silph Arena 2.0, and quite frankly, I think that it's such a large task that it may not be feasible for anyone to do that. But I am going to sort of look to be pushing for and running a lot of grassroots tournaments. So, subscribe down below for future updates. But I mean, I'm really join the Discord, follow me on Twitter as well, because those are probably the two main places that I'm going to be sort of posting about that sort of stuff. And I'm sort of hoping to promote other people who are making these grassroots tournaments as well. So maybe in the Discord, we set up like a channel for everyone to sort of post their grassroots stuff. So it's sort of like a little bit of a grassroots hub in a little bit of a way. Because I really do want to support that sort of, I guess, community heart that was sort of lying in Silph Arena and lies in so many of these other tournaments. GBLA, for example, is just it's just a fun community run thing. Speedy's Chief and Math Magic do some fantastic work with all of that. And I'd like to see more of that going on. So if you do plan on doing any sort of grassroots stuff, please do let me know. I will set up that sort of grassroots channel on the Discord if I haven't already. I mean, that's sort of it from here. I mean, Silph Arena is we've still got a couple months left, right? So we're still going to crown some continental champions. We're still going to crown a world champion. I'll probably look to host like a sort of end of Silph like major tournament to sort of, I guess, celebrate the closure of the Silph Arena. So stay tuned for that as well. We'll let the sort of dust settle first, I think, a little bit. I think it's a little premature to sort of rush in and sort of like start planning all these dates and stuff. But if you can, like, sort of drop your sort of, some memories of the Silph Arena, sort of whether you haven't played since season 1 or if you only just joined in season 5. I'll leave some memories in the comments below as well. I was sort of intending to make this video a little bit more of a retrospective, sort of talk about like the mega tournaments and stuff, but I think we'll just sort of leave that for another video. I will sort of wait another couple months. We'll let the World Championships finish up, and so that sort of the last page of the Silph Arena book is actually closed, and then I'll probably make a little bit of a retrospective after that. So just one more reason to subscribe, right? But yeah, with that said, as far as the immediate future, this was I announced this like 2 months ago on Twitter. It's taken some time to finish up, but there is a World Championship Brawl stream that I'll be hosting in a few weeks with Play Pokemon World Champions versus Silph Arena World Champions, round robin. But, I guess stay tuned for all that announcement stuff. But, yeah, we'll see where we go from here. But I guess I look forward to seeing the Silph Arena World Championships. Of course, we've got the Play Pokemon World Championships in August as well. So it's going to be interesting what the future for Pokemon Go PvP holds. And I can confirm that the rumors are true. Silph Arena is only shutting down because Though Tactical left, and they're standing in solidarity. But with that said, thank you to Silph Arena. I mean, we made a video maybe a few years ago now, a year and a half ago, hashtag thank you Silph. And Speedy's Chief ended that video sort of talking about how even at the dawn of COVID, Silph Arena sort of helped to bring the community together. And I think that's sort of been true till the end. So with that said, thank you to Silph. Thank you to all of the volunteers who've sort of helped to make it what it has been through all of these years, whether you, whether you've been gone for ages or whether you've still been putting in the work through to the end. I really do appreciate everyone, the TOs who have helped these tournaments run, because this has all been community run as well, right? People like Bamboss in the local Sydney community sort of running all of this stuff. So I really just appreciated it. And of course, all the players as well, because if no one's playing, there's not much of a point. The meta team, everyone, right? So thank you for watching all of my Silph Arena videos all these years as well. It's going to be weird with no more Silph Arena meta simplified infographics every single month. I guess every 2 months this season with the wave system, but we'll see where we go. So with that said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one, and I will see you in the next one, maybe Continentals.